Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So will Captain Black? Captain Black. I wouldn't mind seeing Captain Black in bit of Doctor Who. I like Captain Scarlet, really. Honestly, as an aside, I would love to visit the alternate reality where Tom Cruise, instead of buying Mission Impossible to be his vehicle, that's it. But here's the first thing he produced. He bought the rights to Captain Scarlet. He would be awesome as, I know Captain Scarlet's got a very British accent, but he'll be awesome as Captain Scarlet. You get all the sci-fi stuff plus all the spy stuff. And lots of running, right? I think he would have been a fantastic Captain Scarlet. Who could have been Captain Black? I don't know. We're not talking about Captain Black. We're not talking about Captain Scarlet. We are talking about Doctor Who and Captain Jack. Captain Jack Harkness. Will he be back in the Russell T Day in RTD2? As it sounds like a refugee from Star Wars. Will he be back there? My guess is no. I'm making this video because of synergy, right? Synergy. I had an interesting conversation recently with somebody basically famous in Doctor Who lore, but not really famous, right? Doctor Who fans would know who it is, but normies would not, right? And it was a wide-ranging conversation. I really wasn't expecting, but it was a wide-ranging conversation. One of those questions is about Captain Jack, and they'll say he's genuinely been very, very cancelled for the past year or so. And I'm trying to work out where that's from. So my guess, again, based on snippets I put together, my guess is I think that's all coming from the BBC. John Barrowman wrote a graphic novel that, from what I can tell, they drew a lot of pages off, right? That's a big expense, right? That's a very, very, very big expense, which they then flushed away. So I don't, and also Big Finish. They had a release with John Barrowman and David Tennant, which you got to be guaranteed. That's got to be guaranteed to be a good seller for them. Which they also pulled from the schedule. This whole cancellation came about because a really stupid reason. I think a 2010 clip surfaced, a very public clip. It wasn't anything hidden, of a convention with Noel Clarke and Camille Coduri. Now, it surfaced because Noel Clarke himself was in trouble. The Guardian ran a report about 20 women have come out to accuse Noel Clarke of sexual misconduct, or law-breaking sexual behaviour of one kind or other. Turns out it's all nonsense. I mean, it seems to me to be all nonsense. It wasn't 20, it was 14, and there was basically one. Right? Basically one person who has a financial gripe against Noel Clarke, and she seems to be the one who stitched everything together. Nothing has any... nothing has any, what's the word I'm looking for? Substance to it, right? The police investigated all these allegations, couldn't charge Noel Clarke, couldn't justify an investigation, right? It was, so it really seems like there's absolutely nothing there. But in the middle of that, then then there was a clip of Noel Clarke talking about John Barrowman on set, who was quite famous to get his young Thomas out, his dick. Okay, he was getting his dick out a lot, right? A lot. And kind of, it seems like he did it as a bit of boyish frivolity and japes, which kind of seems like him. Right, he says it seems like the sort of thing he would do, right? And in the clip is Camille Coduri. Noel Clarke is talking about Camille Coduri, about she's in makeup, and then she looks over and John Barrowman's penis is on her shoulder, and she was fine. She was laughing about it. I mean, I assume she was fine, and there was no complaints whatsoever. Anyway, John Barrowman, super cancelled from that moment on. Although I think he's pulled back his career somewhat. But I think Captain Jack, as BBC have some say in Doctor Who and the character, quite something significant say, super cancelled. So I saw this article. Will Captain Jack be back? I doubt it. So yeah. So we talked about the graphic novel that was either completely drawn or mostly drawn, right? So that however many pages it is, you've got to be figuring on $300 to $500 a page for a professional graphic novel, right? So maybe they did 50 pages, maybe let's say 100, right? 100 times 30 is what was it? Is it 3,000? Yeah, three. Not a huge sum of money, but sum of money they're certainly flushing away, right? To get same thing with Big Finish. They had this the Absence Friend. Which was recorded in the can. The cover was made. It probably cost a couple $100 to just make the cover, right? Do the graphic design on that. And it's not being released, and it's not on the schedules to be released. And from a business point of view, it makes zero sense whatsoever. And I don't think Big Finish is a big enough company to just throw away money that way. I really genuinely don't. In fact, that release was probably hope to cover the cost of less commercial releases, less popular releases, right? I think it's basically how they work. So that got pulled from the schedule. It hasn't been put back in the schedule. So it seems like he's super cancelled, right? From the BBC, and I think the BBC are the ones behind this. Then I saw this article which we're going to be looking at today on GameRant. GameRant's actually quite a good source of articles right now. Talking about, will Captain Jack be back in Russell Davies' new era? Doesn't sound like it, does it? But let's read it together. Let's see if they have any insight that we don't. Before we get into it, like, share, subscribe, comment. Definitely subscribe because YouTube and social media in general are up to shenanigans. There's midterm elections coming in the US in 2 months. Any voice that isn't, algorithmically on board with the current administration is getting throttled. I've seen a bunch of a bunch of people sharing things on social media recently, saying how their growth has been throttled. Myself too, right? Myself, which is weird. I just talk about Doctor Who and Star Trek and Star Wars and geeky stuff like that. I guess I talk about Biden quite a bit too. But I find myself being throttled, and I'm actually watching it in real time. I have a theory that 3,500 is some kind of like benchmark, some kind of line that if you get over it, you're allowed to grow more. So as I keep getting close to it, I keep getting knocked back. And it was really close, right? I'm recording this on Sunday, 28th of August. So that's on Friday, I checked my subscribers were in the 3490s, right? I was like, wow, I never got above that, right? I never got above that. So check this out. This is crazy. Right, this happened right now in real time. I just looked at it before I started recording this video. Right, so this is the back end page for my YouTube studio thing, and you see my number of subscribers now gone down. 3485, which is where they've been stuck for like 4 or 5 months. That's why I keep saying subscribe. But here, look at this. If I click live count, it's at 3493, which is what it was. I think it went up from there. I looked on Saturday night, and it was up from there. So we're watching it in real time, right? We're watching some algorithmic BS in real time. Sometime later, maybe I'll refresh it. It'll go down to 85. Right? Let's have a look. No, still there. There is some algorithmic shenanigans going on. So please, I ask you, can you hit the subscribe button? That really helps. I don't think it helps YouTube. I think it kind of screws them up a little bit. But if you can do that, that will be really, really good. I am very, very grateful. Thank you very much. Sign up my Substack, my email newsletter, because when I'm eventually banned from YouTube, which is gonna happen. I mean, like, it's what, 2 months to the midterms. Expect things to get crazy, right? Expect things to get absolutely crazy. Yeah, so if you sign up, you can find me on Rumble. I post where my content is. I just like to stay in contact. Really, that's basically it. And also sign up to my paid Substack, which I don't give away anything on, and I'm very, very guilty about that. Maybe today's the day. Actually, I don't have much to do today. Maybe today is the day that I'm going to put out some exclusive content. Ooh, she cried. On my Substack. Wouldn't on my paid site? Wouldn't that be a double dosing? Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. All those things are good things. Let's look at this article, right? Let's look at this article. in context of of looking at the Captain Jack merchandise. And yeah, the thing that really makes me crazy about this whole thing is that John Barrowman really genuinely came and saved Chris Chibnall's Bacon, right? The only time they ever had any bump in terms of ratings. Let me see if we get the rating charts up. The only time they ever had any bump in terms of rating, here, fine, just found it. I'll go over here. Doink. Open this up. Yeah, oh, too big. So nobody's me ever. There you go. So here. This is Jodie Whittaker's ratings, right? Not including the two specials that actually got worse than this, right? And also they're a little bit nonsense, the ratings, because you get booked it, you get logged in as being watching the full episode if you watch more than 2 minutes on iPlayer. Really? No, that sounds a bit desperate. Anyway, but you'll see it's a one-way trajectory downhill, right? They have there's a couple of points. We have over here when it went up. Can I do this? Yeah, this section over here. If you can see, I highlighted it sort of. That's the New Year's special, the resolution, not resolution, the Dalek, and so that season's finale special episode, they normally get a bit of a bump, but the biggest bump is over here, right? Look right over here, right? That big what is that? John Barrowman slapping on the Captain Jack coat once again to save the BBC's and Chris Chibnall's Bacon, which he did. I mean, it was the only ratings bump they had was from that. And the BBC couldn't care less, right? BBC like, if you got the season 22 Blu-ray, the first the first full Collins season, the only full Collins season, I should say. You see, there's a great interview with Michael Gray, and the thing I like about Michael Gray is he speaks like a human being. He had no idea that Doctor Who wasn't cancelled before the McCoy years. He thought it was over. He thought after trial it was done. But he already moved over to Channel 4 by then, so he probably didn't notice because he couldn't give a shit about Doctor Who because it was, in his words, embarrassing tat. And it's hard to argue with him. It was. I mean, listen. I love season 22. I do. I adore it. But it is somewhat embarrassing tat. I mean, I can see why he would be embarrassed of it. I think he probably would have really liked Remembrance of the Daleks had somebody sat down with him and watched it. It would. If you're still at the BBC, I would love Andrew Cartmel to come and say, listen, I know you hate us. I know you hate what we do. Look at this. I think it might be quite good, right? And maybe he would, because I think he would have seen it as being quite good because it was quite good, right? It's really, it's weird. I'm doing a rewatch of the Bernard Crimmins episodes right now, and there's no question why Voyager the Dam got such huge ratings. It's not Kylie Minogue, it's not David Tennant, it's the quality of the entertainment, which is massive, right? I'm also doing a rewatch of Westworld. Freaking loving that. Man, that first season. Absolutely fantastic. And now I understand it, which is my third time watching it. Now I understand it. It's so much better, right? It's so much. There's all these narrative tricks to confuse the audience, to surprise them and make things. But it's the underlying story is still extremely strong, and now I can finally see it after being able to wade through all the different timelines. So that it's very good. But the incredible thing is when you see something that's good, you instantly see the difference. Spider-Man: No Way Home. Why did that do very well? Because it's very bloody good. It was a lot of fun. Why is She-Hulk not doing well? Because it's not very good and not aimed at anybody who would watch it. I mean, essentially. Anyway, Doctor Who, will Captain Jack be back in the new era? No! Right? If the BBC's got anything to say about it, no. In fact, the title of this video I'm putting on the thumbnail is The BBC Never Forgive Those They've Wronged, which is a chapter title from the Life and Scandalous Times of John Nathan Turner. A particularly good book, I think. which kind of tacitly, winked at the idea that there might have been quite a lot of sexual misconduct going on during the John Nathan. Everything seemed quite consensual to me from reading the book and reading between the lines. Wasn't entirely sure, but that's kind of what it seemed to me. But that was a chapter title. Talking about John Nathan Turner. The BBC never forgive those they've wronged. Tying into the Michael Grade interview, the culture at the BBC is a terror, a fear of embarrassment in front of your peers, right? So whatever your peers think are good, if you do that, you're going to be like lauded. That's why we got very bad TV over the last few years, because the peers are morons, right? The peers are basically Piers Wenger. I mean, what more of a peers can he get? At the end of season 11, he said, "Oh no, Doctor Who is editorially in fantastic shape." No, it was. Promoting insane ideology that Jodie Whittaker wasn't terribly miscast in the role, that sort of thing. But it wasn't successful in terms of connecting the audience, which nothing the BBC does anymore. And they had this excuse for a while then. Oh, it was just Netflix. Netflix has an incredible spell they put on people. They make it so you don't watch the BBC anymore. The landscape of television has dropped because you just make shit. You make shit that doesn't reflect society, right? Wherever you go, it's not. I mean, maybe there is now. Every person in authority isn't a woman, right? Everybody isn't gay, right? One of my complaints about Stranded, the Big Finish series with Paul McGann, where he's stranded in 2020, which could have made a lot more of that. I mean, stranded in lockdown, but I don't think they really focus on that much at all. I said it will be like I like the idea of the Doctor being stranded on Earth for a few years and having having this house. I thought that's kind of cool, but there could have been somebody straight somewhere in a 100-mile radius, which there wasn't, which I found a bit strange. Captain Jack would have fit right in to most of them. So Willie, so the BBC, in the Michael Grade interview, he said the BBC will never, ever, ever admit they're wrong because it embarrasses them. And that's the worst thing in the world. If you have unlimited money, unlimited power, which these hooray Henrys at the BBC do, who come from Oxbridge and Eton, right? If you have unlimited money and power, the only thing you fear is embarrassment. And boy, do they fear embarrassment. So they're never ever going to admit they're wrong, right? And that's why I think they lean into when they've wronged somebody, they just go after them 100 times more, which is I think what's going on with John Barrowman. Will Captain Jack Harkness be back in the new year? Captain Jack Harkness is a beloved character originating the Russell T Davies era. It says the Russell T Davies era of Doctor Who. With the writer's return, will Jack be back? Well, really, I mean, the answer to that is who has more juice, the BBC or Rusty Davis? I mean, my guess is Rusty Davis. This is probably a stipulation Rusty Davis has to adhere to to be able to be in the position he's in. Unless they have no juice whatsoever, unless Chris Jim or Jodie Whittaker have done such an incredibly bad job, the BBC literally have no power whatsoever, which would be quite funny. But Rusty Davis, who's taking over Doctor Who, fans will be wondering what sort of callbacks to his first era that he'll make. I don't think any at all. I think he's forging ahead to the future. Right, I mean, I think he would have a callback in the same way he has a callback to all the rest of classic Doctor Who. But I don't think it's going to be a backward-looking production at all. I think it's a very forward-looking production. The accomplished head writer is known for working with the same actor multiple times. He's no stranger to harkening back to the old characters, either name or actuality. As we've seen, Davis is already set to be writing a new character called Rose. Well, there's something going on with that, isn't there? I mean, I don't think that's just happenstance. They got a little clip of the boys play. That guy's Israeli. That guy's Jewish, Frenchy in the boys. Somebody told me on Sabbath a few weeks ago. Did not know. Anyway. John Barrowman, though a successful actor, has long expressed interest in returning Doctor Who. He recently returned during the 13th Doctor story as Future of the Judoon and Revolution of the Daleks. Fans are no doubt wondering whether Captain Jack Harkness will return in the Rusty Davies era, especially considering that Davies created the character. Again, I think if the BBC has anything to say about it, the answer is no. John Barrowman came under scrutiny for his on-set antics, in which he regularly exposed... I shouldn't really laugh, should I? But I do. I'm sorry. That he regularly exposed himself... Because it's funny! That's bloody why. Themselves the colleagues on set. But they weren't like, oh no, get in the way. They're like, I guess this is just a hangover from... a theatrical lifestyle, which is there's a lot of nudity, right? There's a lot of nudity in quick changes and all that sort of stuff. Plus, he's very, very gay, right? And I'm not saying being gay means you want to get your dick out and wave it around. Or he's just a bit of a showman, right? I mean, like show tunes. It's just what do you want me to say? I mean, it's not stereotypically gay to be like big, attractive man who does show tunes. Yeah, so him getting his dick out and waving around doesn't shock me, right? Now, you want to tell me Donald Trump slept with porn stars? I'm like, that's not surprising, is it? No, that's really not surprising. You want to tell me Boris Johnson did? I'll be like, bloody hell, how much did you pay her? It wasn't enough, mate. It wasn't enough. John Barron came under scrutiny for this behaviour seemed to follow him everywhere from Doctor Who to Torchwood to Arrow. Yeah, it was a thing he did, right? I think they stopped him in like 2008, but it was the thing he did. And they was a farting contest. Well, many actors expressed that this was done in jest by Barrowman and that they didn't feel threatened. It's nonetheless damaged Barrowman's credibility and reputation within the industry and amongst fans. No, right? It has damaged his reputation in the industry. Amongst fans, I don't know if they're fans or they're just toxic cunts, right? I think that's a better expression for them. Toxic cunts that happen to have some interest in Doctor Who, right? You know why they're toxic cunts? I'll tell you exactly why. It's not because they care about the morality of the situation at all, because they don't, right? They do not give a damn about that. It's that they saw somebody they could attack with impunity, because they're little shits, that's why. With Doctor Who's bad stuff in recent years due to fan and critic reception, right from the same toxic cunts who said Captain said John Barrowman is a sexual predator or whatever. Well, the same people who call me a Jewish bloke, a rabbi, one of the naughty National Socialists from Germany in the 1930s, right? I mean, like, there is no rule that they can get their head around that they can keep the same as they insist other people get. And the incredible thing is, they always all get outed as being perverts themselves, don't they? There was this what's the name? There was this group called Not My Doctor. They were all obsessed with Annie, but they would scan the internet. And I'm not joking. This actually is a real thing that happened, right? They would scan the internet like the East German Stasi, right, to find anybody posting any critique whatsoever of Jodie Whittaker, and then they'll find anything whatsoever and dogpile them, just lambast them, and they came after me, calling me a paedophile, right? Because I said, I would like to have sex with Victoria Waterfield. I still think that seems kind of a normative response. Look, I like to have sex with a lot of people, but I am super religious and married, right? And look, she's a bit of a shiksa. What do you want me to tell you? She's off limits to me. So we're clearly talking fantasy. And if we're talking fantasy, what's the correct sexual tryst with Victoria Waterfield? Clearly, with older Victoria from Downtime and younger Victoria from the 60s. Maybe that Tomb of the Sidemen Victoria, where she just put on a miniskirt for the first time. Not really sure it's okay, but sort of kind of into it. So those three, okay? I'm the third, okay? That's a bit, but obviously I'm not telling it. But anyway, I'm joking, right? Obviously I'm joking, but these little toxic cunts couldn't care less, right? So you do have the toxic cunts on Twitter who will scream and scream and scream and scream and scream. If John Barrowman isn't cancelled. And some of those toxic cunts are doubtless the hooray Henrys that run the bloody BBC. Amazingly enough. Fine, where we're up to. With Doctor Who's brand suffering in recent years due to fan and critical reception, same toxic cunts. Ross D. Davis may want to play it safe, not bringing Barrowman back until public perception has improved. It seems to be that he's sort of in the same camp as the toxic cunts on a lot of things, right? I mean, he very, very strongly supports the T-bit of the LGBTQ IA plus alliance. I don't know, I think that's really a watershed, I'm happy for anybody to be what they want and feel, actualized. I'm not happy for children to have life-changing medical procedures like surgery and chemical castration, hysterectomies, because they're trans. Maybe just hang out to your 18, maybe even 21. Let's go crazy. 21. It just seems that would probably be safer. I think we're going to get a huge rash of suicides over the next 10 years from people who have rushed to transition or rushed to be transitioned, right, by these weird groups, which Rusty Davis seems to be in favor of, right? So he does seem to be have a lot of his PR right now is in appeasing the toxic cunts, right? I think Yasmin Finney's casting was somewhat to do with that, to tell you the truth. I think it's more to do with she's got like 12 gazillion TikTok followers. Is it they or is it she or I don't know. It's so confusing. Whatever they have. Oh God. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The whole changing language. I'm sorry, but it really genuinely does. And the reason they're so insistent on, the reason they scream, the reason that they have tantrums if you don't adopt their language, because they know it's bullshit. Bottom line, they know it's bullshit. They know that everything isn't fluid, right? And I think they don't want to admit it to themselves. Anyway, Barron appeared in the Barron appeared in some of the 10th Doctor best episodes. 10th Doctor's best episode, so nobody can blame Davis if he wants to stick with what works. Then again, Russell is known for working regularly with people he's on good terms with, and he's not the sort to shy away from being brave enough to work from Barrowman again, regardless of the branding issues. That I agree with, but I think it's a problem with the BBC more than anybody else. Barrowman has since been apologetic for his behaviour and escaped relatively unscathed. No, he hasn't. Fuck off. What? I mean, listen. Absent Friends wasn't one I had on pre-order, right? Or this graphic novel, I was kind of out of the tortured range by then. But, he's such a gregarious, fun, and I think loving and just wanting to entertain personality, right? Yeah, it's just until those projects are available, he hasn't escaped unscathed. Just nonsense, right? Absolutely nonsense. So perhaps it won't be seen as such a risk by Davis and Babel Studios. Adding BBC to that, though. Listen, I think if bringing Captain Jack back, I don't think they're worried of offending the Twitterati. I think they're worried of appearing stupid, which is, their biggest fear in life. Multiple legacy characters are returning. Oh, dear old Bernard Cribbins. Multiple legacy characters have been announced returning for Davis' second era on the show. David Tennant and Catherine Tahe are returning, although whether Tennant is actually the 10th Doctor, 14th Doctor, or a fake Doctor is unknown. Currently, with rumors circulating about about all three outcomes. One thing people need to know about the Celestial Toymaker and Doctor Who is they can manipulate reality and create illusions, meaning Tennant could be returning as a fake Doctor and not necessarily his popular incarnation. That seems like a reasonable take on it. Again, I think it's something unexpected, is my guess. What is clear is that Russell is linking his past era with his new one from the start. I think he's trying to connect the audience with Doctor Who they enjoyed, right? I think he needs to erase this dour preachiness and low quality scripting and acting, quite frankly, of the Jodie Whittaker era, right? I think he really needs to do that and connect it back to the people going, oh, Doctor Who's a fun show, right? Yeah, we used to watch it and have fun. Right, fun. Yeah, again, you doubt me. Go watch Voyage of the Damned. Absolutely adored it. Since Captain Jack appeared in the first series, The Empty Child, and appeared recently in Series 12, there is a good chance he could be thrown into the mix. And I'm pretty sure the character of Vinder was written to replace John Barrowman, wasn't he? There's a good chance that he'll be thrown into the mix. What's more, with Neil Patrick Harris and others say Shooting Gut will be the sexiest Doctor yet. Well, that's what it looks like to me. The strong rumor before Shooty was the guy from Class, Fady, who I only know from having taking these pictures of himself with this real washboard abs. I don't know. Maybe Russell's discovered the casting couch, and good for him. Good for him. Again, everything consensual, baby. Everything consensual. Jackson includes and feel like a logical return considering his characterization and his history of flirting with the Doctor. Yeah, but is it an avenue closed off? Again, who has more juice, the BBC or Rusty Davis? Or are they on one mind of this? I don't know. Jack still has potential character development. He's got tons of potential character development. Being animal, listen, you could address him getting older and I don't know what's going on. They've broken his immortality. Maybe being a bit of a silver fox. Honestly, whenever I see John Barrowman smile, I smile because it's such a genuine smile. I love how he just loves to entertain. Being an immortal timer, Jack Nardis has still potential for character development should Russell choose to bring him back. It was alluded to in the past that Jack has 2 years of life he can't remember. As a result, the time agency wiping his memory before he's left. I think he was just seeding stuff in, that you could work from the past. Do you think Russell's going to go back and address the mysterious woman that was supposed to be his mother in the end of time, ends up covering her face? Do you think that's going to happen? I hope so, because that was a real dangling plot thread, wasn't it? Exploration into these missing memories is something that fans fans want to see in future Doctor Who seasons. Maybe they just would like to see spin-offs. Being immortal, the character can appear in any period of time for any reason. He also has time travel as well. So there is that. He's also one of the Doctor's oldest friends from 2005. He's not like the Brigadier. At least in the modern series. So potential for return and further exploration of his character is certainly there. He most recently attempted to warn Doctor about the lone Cyberman. I understand how your scripting is so bad, right? I understand how you screw up to such an incredible level, where you write a story in which Captain Jack somehow breaks through time and space to deliver an urgent warning. Don't give the Siberian to the lone Cyberman. I like the lone Cyberman. I thought he was a good character. I just wish he had some good story around him, right? Don't do that. To which Jodie Whittaker's Doctor goes, oh, I better give him the Siberian. Oh, they've outwitted me. Well, don't worry. I'm so clever, me. Icky thump, I'll go forward in time and I'll fix the whole thing. No, you won't. No, if I recall, you went forward in time, discover the human race extinct, and there'll be some kind of weird barrier they could get to, which has the bloke from Game of Thrones in it, that takes them to a destroyed Gallifrey. And humanity is wiped out, right? Humanity at that point is wiped out. and you never fix it, right? You basically manage to get everybody to stand around and say, "Oh, Doctor, you're so brave," or "You're so stunning," or "You're so brave." I mean, it was a real disgustingly narcissistic scene. Before and send them all off in a TARDIS before having the bloke, was it Koshamis was his name? I can't remember the stupid name it was. Turn up and say, "Oh no, I'll wipe out the Cyberman, Cyberlords, whatever it is, the Edgelords, whatever we want to call them." Okay, this is a real aside. For the first time in my entire life, I heard the expression edging. I said edging over Sabbath, right? Yeah, you outside synagogue, you start chatting with people. I don't know how it came up, but apparently it's prolonging the experience of masturbation by focusing more on the edges rather than the top of the torpedo, for want of a better word, right? I just thought that's the way you're supposed to do it, right? I didn't know there was a name for that. That's very weird. That's okay. Bit of an aside. Also, as we're talking about masturbation, why not? We're talking about John Barrowman. It all kind of fits together somehow. If you masturbate, again, I'm not a Muslim cleric, so I don't know. But masturbation and ejaculation during the fast of Ramadan invalidates the fast. Which I found quite fascinating. I want to say, I think you might be doing it wrong if you're doing it, if that happens. Anyway, I digress. I have no idea how we got there. Being a multiple time agent, maybe. I might have sparked it off. Jack Harkness still has the potential for character development. Should Russell choose to bring him back? It was alluded. Okay, 2 years missing. Time agency wiping his mind before he left. The explanation on the missing. Is that first one? See if you choose one. See, I don't really think so. Being immortal, the character can appear in any period of time for any. Okay, we've done all this. So the potential explanation of the character is certainly there. He was, Lone Sideman. I remember saying that was good. And shortly after, when he helped a doctor break out space prison, that was embarrassing. Like, really? I don't know. Why did they write her like a doofus? Like, she couldn't break out? What the hell? It was just... Although I did like the Varga plot in the background, if that's what it was. I thought that was kind of cool. Rosalind Davis made comments about how he's sitting on an empire in 2008 and how he believes the franchise has the potential for it to be Marvel-fied. So, like many other show franchises have been recently... at one time, Doctor had 2 spin-offs, Torchwood and Sarah Jane Adventures. So there's definitely potential to replicate that in Davis's new era, which is clearly what he's going to do, right? I mean, how many times has he said it? I don't think we're going to get the Nissa Adventures, but yeah, I think we do. They'll be quite dull, actually, quite frankly. Captain Jack Helm Torchwood spin-off series leading it to success for its 4 seasons. Success in its first 2 seasons. Then first success in its first 3 seasons. Season 4 was just kind of a bit painful and long. With Rusty Davis likely wanted to repeat the same blueprint and have multiple spin-offs at the show at the same time. But I think he's going to want new spin-offs, right? I think this is a forward-looking production rather than a backward-looking one. Perhaps he wants to revive Torchwood, which is an anagram of Doctor Who, if you did not know. Doctor Who is one of the best science fiction fantasy shows around, with potential for so much storytelling that storytelling than being confined to one singular show. Yeah, honestly, I wonder if the BBC wishes now that they just did a normal Doctor Who, right? Maybe get Toby Whithouse in to run it and have Chris Chibnall do the Ashtad. What was her name again? Ashia. The girl who lived and what's her name? Clara Adventures. I was desperately looking at myself just now to see my action figure with Clara so I could remember her name. Oh, Clara. That did the trick. Am I missing a figure? I thought I had the Dalek, her one in that red outfit and the purple. Oh, maybe I didn't buy the one in the red outfit. I think, okay, as an aside, that was the hottest Jenna Coleman outfit. The red inside the Dalek-y outfit. Fine. If Talk Show were to be revived, fans would naturally want the return of Captain Jack to the importance of the character in the series' mythology and general structure. As mentioned previously, the branding issues caused by John Barrowman's on-set antics may cause issue in the eyes of TV executives. However, it looks like Davis is giving a free rein over production as he works with So again, the conversation I had seemed to indicate that he doesn't have complete free rein. I don't know the veracity of any of this. Although, again, I don't think it was Big Finish that cancelled Absent Friends, right? I don't think it was Penguin that cancelled that graphic. I think it was Penguin that was supposed to be publishing it. However, it looks like that Davis is giving free rein over production with his Julie Garner and Jane Tranter. And boy, have they had a Hollywood makeover, right? That last time I saw them was who was it? Julie Gardner had this huge afro and was super pregnant, right? Just super. I mean, on TV, I haven't seen her in real life. And now they're like these Hollywood. It's like a Hollywood executives in a TV show. I would call hot and milfy because they are pretty hot and milfy in their new pictures. Two producers with their own importance to Doctor Who and Torchwood history. Jack Harkness probably won't return straight away. He probably won't return, right? Again, it depends how much juice the BBC have. And that's really what it is. I think they're going to fight tooth and nail to keep him out, because if they don't, and he's popular, they're going to look foolish. And that's the thing they hate most in the world, looking foolish. With Russell Davis being very open about his return on Instagram. Oh, yeah. So apparently, also, he really doesn't like Big Finish now. Because they cancelled that release. Again, I just seem strange that it would be them make this financially disastrous decision, right? Maybe it is, right? Maybe it is. I'm just using, logic and reason. It's not like it's their tools that helped me much in the past, is it? Logic and reason. How useful are those in 2022? Not at all, right? Not at all. Logic and reason will just leave you confused and depressed. Fans with Rusty being open about the returns on it, and being open about the return on his Instagram, fans can assume that Jack Harkness won't be back anytime soon. Both David and Barrowman find it hard to keep secrets related to Doctor Who, so the fact that there's been nothing about his return suggests it won't be for a while. Until then, there's plenty of other Doctor Who companions who do deserve a comeback. So this does tie into my my rumour video from Friday. It'll be Friday the 26th of August, when I can't remember who it was. It was a rumor that the classic Doctors were told by the Chibnall production that, look, there's not going to be a 60th anniversary. This is it. We got nowhere. Doctor Who's going on a rest. We got no one we're handing over to. And they were telling the absolute truth, right? They were telling the truth at the time. But, then Russell Davis came back after they finished shooting. So, if they want to be in a 60th anniversary, it was now or never. Since then, after RTT's return, they've been like, can you write me out this garbage, please? Thank you very much. Maybe they've just replaced it with Jodie putting on, a scarf and such. I think that will come out that as the trouble around Barrowman dies down and Russell gets more settled into his new old role, the chance of Jack returning in the future can only increase. I agree. I do agree. With most things, as with most things, Doctor Who fan reaction will probably be split down the middle. Not really. That's a new thing, right? Really, up until I think all through the from 2005 through to Matt Smith era, through the end of that, it was mostly praise. It was 95% praise. We love this, right? As an old fan myself, I couldn't believe how popular it was. It blew my freaking mind. It absolutely made me like, what? It was living in a bizarro reality, which I very much enjoyed. And I think that lasted a good 10 years, minimally. Capaldi, I think the fans loved, and I think the more people saw him, the more people liked him, but I think that first season really hurt him, really pushed him back. But like, it was basically universal praise, and I think hopefully that's what we're going to go back to, because the human nature is this, that people like to be on the winning side, right? Doctor Who fans back in 2005 had never been on the winning side, right? We've always been on the losing side. We've always been somewhat losers, because Doctor Who wasn't exactly the thing to get to make you seem cool to the ladies, right? Didn't really in '85. That didn't make you seem hot to your classmates. Unfortunately, so we were kind of amazed by its mainstream success. Something I hadn't experienced in my life, and I enjoyed it. People like to be on the winning team. So will Captain Jack be on the winning team? I don't know. Look, it was like this. Who has more say, Rusty Davies or the BBC? If push comes to shove, and is Rusty Davies of the same mind with the BBC? It seems like he wouldn't be, but his public statements seem that he might be. We don't know. But the fundamental question: will Captain Jack be back in the Rusty Davies era? I doubt it. The bottom line is, I doubt it. I'll be surprised if he is, and if he is, good for them, right? Good for him, good for them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how John Barrowman feels about it either, as well. I think he may be burnt beyond burnt and say, yes, forget it. I'm not going back there again. I can understand him there. I can totally understand that. Look, can I tell you, people are fickle. People are shallow. People are people. Apart from the toxic cunts that live on Twitter, they are subhuman. Right? They are subhuman. And if there was some kind of like plague that came along and only attacked you if you're a toxic Twitter cunt, erasing you from reality, I wouldn't shed a tear, mate. I wouldn't shed a tear. And as if they wanted to absolutely confirm my words that Twitter cunts are indeed cunts. They just proved it again. Right after I finished filming this video, they dropped another article on the same subject that we're about to read. And honestly, I don't think it makes them look very good. Honestly, I really genuinely don't. So what happened? So we know that they do not want Captain Jack back because they're insane. Because they're Twitter cunts, okay? Because they're insane Twitter cunts. But they like Captain Jack. So what to do? They like Captain Jack, not so fond of John Barrowman. Why don't they like John Barrowman? Again, it's because they're wrong, and they don't like to feel like they're wrong, and that's it. That's why they want to destroy somebody's life, right? I mean, I don't understand how one can get more cunty than that, but yeah, that's essentially the cuntiest. Amongst I could imagine. Actually, you can get far cuntier, can't you? There's all these stories of the Secret Service planting child pornography on political rivals' computers to knock them out. It's unbelievable, the stuff that's coming out now. Anyway, I digress. This is still reasonably cunty. Let's look at this story over here. How could Doctor Who recast Captain Jack Harkness? I really don't think they can. I quite like the Big Finish recasting of a number of roles. I think that Tim Treloar doing the Third Doctor really nails it. I liked Fraser Hines and who was it? David Troughton? Not David Troughton, it's the other one. It's one of Patrick Troughton's sons doing the second Doctor. I like Stephen Noonan. People hated him, right? I liked him doing that as well. I mean, I'm not sure if I liked him just because he was so nice and got out on Twitter, got out on YouTube, and said, yeah, give it a chance, right? But still, I gave it a chance. I liked it. It was very good. I quite like the whole recast. And Jonathan Carley as what's he called again? I keep thinking what's the name I'm trying to think of? I got the action right. The War Doctor. I don't know. Come back to me anyway. Fantastic. But I really think John Barrowman is this role, right? It was written essentially for him, and he's completely inhabited it. The idea of recasting it just seems completely insane, especially as he's supposed to be immortal. But of course, you would have a picture of Jodie there, for some unknown reason. Oh, look, they also got a picture of him from I think his last Big Finish release, The Lives of Captain Jack Harkness, which was something that was a bit of a guaranteed seller for them. Always seemed like a bit of a team player. But again, Twitter cunts are Twitter cunts. Let's see what this particular Twitter cunt had to say. How Doctor Who could recast Captain Jack? He can't. Okay, Captain Jack Harkness is unlikely to feature in Doctor Who again. But why? Because we're Twitter cunts, and we don't want to feel like we're on the wrong side of history. Okay. But there's one clear route that will allow the character to be recast. Yes, if we all join in with you and be Twitter cunts. That's the clear route, right? 100% clear route to Twitter cuntiness. Very, very good. Fine. Doctor Who has already laid the groundwork for recasting Captain Jack Harkness. No, it hasn't. It doesn't necessarily mean it should. It shouldn't. John Barrowman's Jack Harkness made debut in 2005 as Empty Child, going on to become a semi-regular on the 9th and 10th Doctors, and starring Torchwood. Captain Jack would return in 2020, passing on a warning to Lone Sideman that Jodie Whittaker's Doctor pretty much ignored, and finally encountered again in 2021 New Year's special. It seems to me the character of Vinda, if you've seen the turgid Doctor Who flux, seems to me that the character Vinda was written in to replace Captain Jack, right? Maybe they already filmed the sequences. I have heard people tell me that that Big Finish have had to remount recording sessions because of stuff the BBC has told them to, which sounds, well, listen, they cancelled the release, didn't they, of Absent Friends? So again, it doesn't sound like that was a Big Finish decision. I mean, companies really don't. I mean, it costs a lot of money to make these audios. I think companies really don't go about wasting money, right? Especially small companies like Big Finish. Corporations, probably. John Barrowman doesn't look like they're featuring Doctor Who again, but why? In the wake of accusations, it's actually going to own up to it. Accusation regarding Noel Clarke, Doctor Who's Mickey Smith, allegations which have now completely crumbled, right? Completely and totally crumbled to nothing. Allegations regarding Barrowman's behind-the-scenes contact on Doctor Who resurfaced. It wasn't allegations. It was a story. It was an open story. No one ever tried to hide this, right? Every time you intimate that they tried to hide it, you're lying, right? But again, you're a Twitter cunt, aren't you? Resulting in Captain Jack's removal from several non-TV projects. It seems unlikely Doctor Who would risk the backlash by inviting John Barrowman back for season 14 and beyond. No, they would, right? Again, I'm sure Big Finish will be more than happy to sell plenty of copies of Absent Friends, right? I am sure they will be happy not to have lost the money they put into that production. But that doesn't rule out Captain Jack making a comeback. Doctor Who is already the perfect excuse to recast Harkness. Yes, the perfect excuse is that Jodie Whittaker bought with her Twitter cunts, right? And Twitter cunts think they own the world. Well, they pretty much do, don't they? They're terrifying, absolutely terrifying. People I actually feel sorry as for are people on the left-wing side of the spectrum. Like, nobody. I mean, honestly. Did any of us really expect it was the left-wing side of the spectrum that would bring on this, like, totalitarianism, this lack of freedom of speech, this, like, I mean, look, I mean, we saw it coming. Everybody saw it coming. We told you it was coming, but you didn't want to hear it, okay? So now J.K. Rowling's not allowed to be mentioned because she says having vaginas is somewhat important to being a lady. Okay. At the end of Doctor Who's Last of the Time was Captain Jack Harkness bids farewell to the 10th Doctor, but not revealing his old nickname, the Face of Boe, tacitly confirming that Harkness was the big head the Doctor befriended previously. Captain Jack had, of course, been granted immortality by Rose Tyler after she absorbed the heart of the TARDIS. No, she absorbed the time energy, I think, from the heart of the TARDIS. She didn't absorb the heart of the TARDIS. I mean, really? How much work is it to correct these buffoons all the time? It's too much, is the answer. Too much bloody work. But I will keep doing it. I will keep doing it for you. But the Doctor Who subtly confirmed the character does age, albeit very slowly, in Last of the Time Lords, when Captain Jack admitted finding grey hairs. This small detail means that Jack possibly didn't switch instantaneously from his John Barrowman form to the Jar in the Head form. Somewhere in the billions of years he existed, Captain Jack must have been an old man before adopting... Again, there's a different character at that point. Before adopting a more alien visage akin to the Face of Boe, but with a body. Why did it have a body? Babyface Mo has a body, just at the back. You don't see it. If the Doctor ever bumped into any of the older versions of that, a recast wouldn't just be an option. It'd be the most convincing way of showing Jack's transformation across America, millennia across America. It'll be the most convincing way of showing that Rusty Davis bends the knee or is a Twitter bends the knees to or is a Twitter cunt. Right? That's the best way of showing it. Yeah, take this character that you pretty much invented, John Barrowman, right? You invented and you saved our bacon with it over and over again, but now screw you. Why Doctor Who shouldn't recast Captain Jack? Because you don't want to appear like Twitter cunts. I mean, it's not complicated, mate. Not complicated. Doctor Who may have a foolproof reason for replacing John Barrowman, Captain Jack Harkness. No. But retiring the character completely makes more sense. For better or for worse, John Barrowman became synonymous with Captain Jack. And if the BBC, understandably, it's not fucking understandably, you Twitter cunt! Feels that misconduct allegations, not allegations, nobody denied them. And allegations, you did this. No, I didn't. No one's denying it. Yes, he got his dick out on set. Yes. Oh, well, heaven to Betsy. Oh, nobody complained. There was no victim. Oh, other than me having to listen to this dross. Allegation prevent him from reprising the role. Harkness should remain lost into the time vortex, never bumping the Doctor again. Even an older Captain Jack, millions of years older, is a solid excuse. Even a solid excuse you'll find to recast. It's not. Longevity built upon the premise of reinvention, with the main role constantly in a state of flux. And this works in favour of recasting Captain Jack. That role, however, probably is best reserved for Time Lords alone. Yes. Start casting multiple actors and the same companion, even an immortal one, then the thin veil of exclusivity that surrounds the Gallifrey's regeneration trick, especially after the Timeless Child disappears. Yeah, the exclusivity that the Doctor was, an exclusive character, right? It was like an interesting, unique character, but apparently not. No, that's not what that's not how it is now. After the Timeless Child, which is not canon, I'm just I don't consider it canon. If Rusty Davis wants to canonize it, I think he might have shot his Doctor Who in the foot. But I don't think it's canon. But let's say it was, right? So the Doctor went from being like 12, 13, 14 people, right? Out of billions that have existed, to being billions, making him boring, right? Which is what these Twitter cunts always do with everything, right? They always end up making things boring. Doctor's Doctor-companion dynamic depends upon Time Lords having a few tricks that their friends do not. The ability to change faces is foremost amongst them. But perhaps the most convincing reason that Doctor Who should retire rather than recast Captain Jack is the sense of closure surrounding the former Time Agent. Torchwood and Doctor Who's 10th Doctor era both resolve Captain Jack's story in a satisfying way, while a degree of mystery still remains around his face of bow transformation, it's an open-ended question that doesn't necessarily need answering. That's true. Finally, we're agreeing on something. Appearing alongside the 13th Doctor then explored the legacy of Captain Jack's TARDIS adventures, almost as one last hurrah that Doctor definitely needed a familiar face. No, it was that Chris Chibnall needed a familiar face because the faces he had got were causing people to run from it screaming, right? The ratings had imploded, had completely imploded, and they desperately needed John Barrowman, right? Because people like John Barrowman. You know why they like him? Because he's not a Twitter cunt! Oh, God. I mean, really, I can't wait to one day it'll never happen. Will these people look in the mirror and go, oh, are we the baddies? I don't know. Funny, I saw some people, these, again, Twitter cunts talking about me on Twitter. Go, how dare he exonerate Noel Clarke? I want to feel like a good person, and he doesn't make me feel like a good person. But I always use the angry Jodie Bear to represent them. And they're like, I don't find that funny at all. And the guy saying that looked exactly like the angry Jodie Bear. Oh my God, and they're all so angry and miserable. I mean, that's really the bottom line. They're just miserable cunts. Yes. I mean, I know. Listen, the best use of the word misery I've ever heard in my life was my grandmother to my grandfather. My grandfather, not a particularly elevated person, one could say, right? And we used to have to go to. We have to. It was our family tradition. We all went there for Passover, which is like a big deal in Judaism, right? We always for the first night of Passover, you have a thing, you sit around a table, read. Anyway, 1 year, I can't remember that, having an argument, my grandmother, grandfather, and my grandmother quite accurately turned around to my grandfather and says, "You great lump of misery!" Yeah, they are. He was, so are they, right? If Captain Jack was still at the heart of some major Doctor Who mystery, recasting the character would be necessary, but no, again, they changed him to Vinder, you ignorant moron, right? Oh my god. Recasting the character would have been necessary, but with Harkness last departing on a satisfying note, there's no purpose of bringing Captain Jack back, regardless of who plays him. I don't know how you look at yourself in the mirror, right? You disgusting mobs, that just want to destroy lives. To make you feel slightly less pathetic, right? And that's really the bottom line. This is all about you feeling slightly less pathetic. And you might feel slightly less pathetic if you were slightly less pathetic, right? That's just my wacky take on the situation. There you go. John Barrowman came into conflict with Twitter cunts. I long for the day. The Twitter cunts are vanquished from reality for once and forever. Would that be good? Yes, we would all be happy with that, and I think the world will just be a better place. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.